Hi, I'm Meg Callahan with Infectious Disease Special Edition, and I'm here with Dr. Jimmy Chang, who is the CEO of TaiMed Biologics, and we're here to talk a bit about new upcoming treatments for HIV. Dr. Jimmy Chang, thank you so much for talking to me.
Yeah, thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be here.
Very cool. So there's one monoclonal antibody that you have approved in the U.S. already. Maybe could you give us a really brief overview of how that medication, how it works?
Yes, so TaiMed Biologics is specialized in developing a new modality for infectious disease as well as autoimmune disease. So our first product approved in the U.S., the name is Trogarzo, which was the first and only antibody ever approved for HIV. The modality is basically a CD4 targeting antibody. It binds to the CD4 host cell and prevent the virus from entering the CD4 cell for replication. It was the first and the only antibody ever approved for multidrug-resistant HIV population. So when we were developing this drug, it was the first in class. We knew that there was, for the patients that are living with the multidrug-resistant condition, they have very limited options. And the Trogarzo was the one that they provided the option for patients to regain their control for virus suppression.
Can you tell me a little bit about the administration? It's an infusion, I'm assuming?
Yes. So Trogarzo is administered IV infusion or IV push every 2 weeks. So basically, that it is a solution formulation. For IV infusion, it has been administered with IV bag. For IV push, basically directly infused into the IV vein within 30 seconds.
Very cool. Trogarzo is not the only medication that you have. You also have one that's in the pipeline. Can you talk about that one?
Yes. So actually, Trogarzo was a very important product for TaiMed Biologics because we were able to clinically validate the mode of action in the real world. So after we commercialized the Trogarzo, we immediately basically started with the second generation antibody development. So we came out with the TMB-365. It is the second generation, the CD4 targeting entry inhibitor. It had a much better potency as well as breadth of the coverage and a much longer acting. So basically, we are combining TMB-365 with a broadly neutralizing antibody, which is the TMB-380, to come out with the complete regimen to be dosed once every 2 months. And it is designed for the frontline therapy for people with already have a very well-controlled virus level, and basically as the maintenance therapy for HIV, people living with HIV.
So where are you at with TMB? It's 365, 380. It's phase 2B, I think you said?
Yes, actually, we just completed the last patient enrollment of the phase 2B clinical program. In this clinical program, we enrolled 88 patients, basically randomized the patient 2 to 1. The combination versus the oral, the standard of care. In this study, we'll be evaluating the safety, efficacy, durability, as well as PK profile to evaluate and demonstrate the effectiveness of the combination for the people living with HIV with the maintenance therapy.
So this might be a little bit in the weeds, but why would you pick a medication that targets CD4 instead of a capsid inhibitor or an integrase inhibitor?
Yeah, so actually that we know that the HIV population, most of the drugs on the market today are small molecule-based drugs like a capsid inhibitor, integrase inhibitors. Those medications are very effective. However, that we do know that the patients living with HIV are aging, as well as they are often facing the comorbidity, polypharmacy, drug-drug interactions. So to formulate or to construct a pure antibody-based combination, which does not have the DDI or the polypharmacy, the challenges, we believe this combination will offer another new option for patients living with HIV.
Now, I know you're only in phase 2B for TMB-365, 380, but what do you see as the administration for that possible combo?
Yes. So actually, I'd like to share with you about the phase 2A clinical program.
Sure.
So before phase 2A, before phase 2B, actually we completed phase 2A study. In the phase 2A study, it is a small study. However, that we were the dosing this combination through IV infusion to patients with HIV. Basically, we have demonstrated the combination, number one, not only very safe, we didn't see much of the infusion related severe the responses, and also that for all these patients, we enroll them without doing any the viral susceptibility testing, and without the viral susceptibility testing, actually we were able to demonstrate this combination works very well. All the patients remained their viral suppression was maintained at the level meeting the requirement, and also that there was no viral failure observed in the study. So based on the phase 2A study, so we basically immediately designed the phase 2B study and discussed with the FDA about the protocol. And so basically that the phase 2A study was a 6-month study. So the patients basically dosed every 2 months injection throughout 6 months duration. In the phase 2B study, we'll be dosing patients throughout 48 weeks, so a year study, and through 6 injections.
Very cool. Did you say that you did have to do susceptibility testing, or you didn't?
Yeah, we didn't have to do susceptibility testing.
Really?
Because, as you know, that for the older drugs on the market today are targeting the HIV virus, the virus. So virus tend to mutate as such that they develop these the drug resistance. However, for our host cell, CD4, the targeting the host cell, it does not mutate as such that the chance of the developing the drug resistant profile is extremely low. And based on that result, we believe it's construction of the 2 antibodies with complementary the mode of action will give a very the strong protection and the effectiveness for the treatment. And as such, we didn't do the susceptibility testing, and even without that, we didn't see any the viral failure, and also that the virus the suppression was maintained throughout the study.
Very cool. Because I know there are other companies that have BNAbs that are in development, and they do testing to match the BNAb with patients before. Is that something that you see with your combination?
Yeah, actually, we believe that without doing that, the susceptibility testing will provide much more the flexibility and the ease of use for the patient population. So because of the phase 2A result, we were confident moving into phase 2B without doing this the susceptibility testing. And so we hope that from the phase 2B study, we'll see the reproducible results.
Very cool. Is there anything I didn't ask that we should talk about?
So I was just mention that actually that the TMB-365 380 combination is our second the program. The first program obviously was a Trogarzo. We were basically targeting the multidrug-resistant patient population. Intentionally that we wanted to have an opportunity to validate the mode of action, whether in the real world had the therapeutic the effect using the antibody as the modality for HIV. And so through Trogarzo, we were confident we were able to demonstrate that the effectiveness and safety in the real world. So developing this second generation combination the therapy, it is really aimed toward the frontline therapy for the virus suppressed patient. So actually, that we have another program going on that basically that will be the next stage of the innovation. We are looking into using the CD4 targeting antibody as a modality for potential HIV functional cure.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Dr. Jimmy Chang, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can catch everything from Infectious Disease Special Edition.